All right, what's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Night Riders Podcast, where we bring you that 411 and all the crazy nonsense going on out there. And today I was supposed to have a guest, but I got kind of stewed up. No call, no show. So it is what it is. You know, it happens. Some people are I guess, camera shy. They don't like to do this. And some people just, when it comes down to it, I guess, get scared out or something. So it doesn't really matter. It's all good, you know. But I came down, you know, I'm not going to let you guys down. So I came down. We're going to see what we're going to talk about. The good thing about what I like to do is, you know, talk about stuff that's going out there, all the crazy nonsense out there in Graph. Usually I'm a little late with everything, but today I'm going to be up to date on all the news stuff and stuff. So let's jump right into it. So, you know, first I'm going to talk about Mr. Shannon Sharpe. You haven't heard about Mr. Shannon Sharpe. Mr. Shannon Sharpe just recently got fired from ESPN from just a couple of days later after his settlement, his lawsuit, whatever, just has settled. His, you know, if you didn't know, he had a beef or whatever you want to call it with a 20-year-old, an OnlyFans model. So the big thing about that, you know, I'm glad for Mr. Sharpe that he had his settlement and all that. The big thing about this is a lot of people right now are saying that it was because he's a black man and that's why he got fired. If it was a white man, it would have never happened. Like I said again, man, you know, some of you guys just go crazy on those comment stuff. I think it's not because of race or anything. Even the fact that, you know, he had, or even with age as well, because he was like almost 60 and she's 20, which that to me is a big gap. I think that's kind of nasty. I've always told myself, if I ever date someone under me, it's at least got to be 4 years younger. That's the max. I can't go any more than that, you know. But that's just me, because I don't know. It's not because how they act or anything. It's nothing like that. It's just, I think past 4, it's just I don't know. It's just nasty to me, I guess. I don't know. But me being a 94 for a baby, so I guess I just want to keep it in my decade era, you know, somebody from the 90s. Well, not just somebody from the 90s and stuff. So I don't know, you know, a lot of people are talking about all that and stuff. But anyways, back to it. Yeah, they saying he was because he was a black man and stuff. No, I don't think. Honestly, what I think is because I think he just got careless. He just got too much. He thought he was just somebody. He blew up, and his ego blew up after that Cat Williams interview. What it seemed like to me, you know, I may be wrong. Maybe he was just like that person. But beginning of the year, remember, he had that scandal when he went live and he was, you know, doing the nasty with a female up there. So that was one thing. They let that slide. And this, I guess that female was maybe closer to his age. That's why they let it slide. But this one being a big age gap difference, that's probably why they don't want to let it. They didn't let it slide and stuff. But you also got to think, man. Disney has so much going because ESPN is owned by Disney. I think, if I'm not mistaken, you can watch ESPN on Disney Plus. So Disney is it's a huge corporation. It's buying everything, you know. I wouldn't be surprised if Disney starts buying oil field companies. But yeah, so Disney had this big scandal. If you've watched the Dark Side of Camera or something, it was that one documentary show that came on Max where this Nickelodeon stars came up in front of the camera talking about how they were being abused as kids by these producers and all these other stuff. Man, should have thought about his name. I know I did a talk about him on one of my episodes prior, where he, the main producer, the big one, where he brought you iCarly, Drake and Josh, you know, those big comedy kids shows. You know, I grew up watching those too. So it was just crazy knowing, you know, as a kid, you seeing that type of stuff, you thinking it's a good life for them, but then not knowing the secrets behind the cameras, what they went through and stuff. Like Josh Bell, I was one of his biggest fans, and he came out saying, Snyder? Oh yeah. Snyder. Yeah, there you go. Thank you, Mike. Yeah, where he was abusing all those little kids and stuff. I remember seeing the videos of him being touching them uncomfortable. I think it was Carly from iCarly. I think she was getting her real name is Megan. She was getting, that was her birthday, and then she was getting a birthday cake, and then he just randomly come up behind her and starts hugging her. Me as a kid, I didn't really think that's anything big about that, but now that I'm older and seeing it, it's like, okay, yeah, you know, she did kind of seem uncomfortable and stuff. So I think that was really one of the main reasons that Disney's just like, you know, I can't allow this no more, because that's one thing that they got blown up on them. Just because nobody really likes their children being hurt, especially in that type of way. If you remember Cain Velasquez, he's right now doing time. I personally think he needs to be out free, but that's just my opinion. But he's doing time right now because of the fact that he beat the guy who raped his daughter to almost to death. He didn't beat him to death, but it was close to it. And I guess I don't feel no sympathy for that guy, because his daughter was like five. I know she was under 8 years old. So that's just horrible to know that the fact that you're abusing a kid that young. You know, I'll give props to Cain. So it is what it is, you know. But I think that's mainly the reasons why ESPN just fired Shannon Sharpe, is the fact that they let him slide, and now it's just the big age gap. So it's like, you know what, we can't allow this on the second time, because you allowed it a second time. What's to say he's not going to do it again the third time? Because then now he's going to take advantage of it, because now he's saying, you know what, I did it twice in a row. You know, maybe I could get away with it the third time. And then if they keep getting away with it, then it becomes, well, the way I see it, then it becomes a habit of continuing doing stuff like this, just being careless and stuff. And, you know, I know Mr. Shannon Sharpe, he's probably not that effective, because he still has Nightcap and of course his podcast, Shannon Sharpe Show. So I guess it doesn't really affect him, but Mr. Sharpe, you know, hopefully everything goes good for you, but you just got to stop being careless, man. Which is weird, because he was warned in that video. If you watch the video with Cat Williams told him, you know, I was watching it this morning, he specifically said, you just got to be careful when you dealing with these type of women, because there is a lot of gold diggers out there, and they come in the most precious and unique way that you just don't see it. You don't catch it right away. It's that saying, love is blindness. And I guess I don't know if he really had love, because he's always talking about he can, if he breaks up with him, he'd get another girl that same night. I don't really know if love is the type word to describe for Mr. Shannon Sharpe. So, but hopefully it goes good. It will go good for him, but hopefully, you know, I know one of his dreams was to be a reporter like that. So hopefully he can just get back in the game and not make no mistakes like this. You know, hopefully he could take some notes from the Kang the Conqueror guy. You know, because he was also another one that was going big, and then he just one night just flopped real quick. So you just gotta be careful, man. You just gotta be careful with all this stuff and stuff. The other topic that I kind of want to talk about is Miss Sweeney. Well, right now she recently did a commercial for American Eagle, and I really don't see nothing negative, but it blew up as a negative thing for some odd reason. Everybody's just, what I've seen the last couple of days, even my wife is crazy about it, that it's just like, we don't understand how this is a negative ad. You know, she was just sponsoring like any other ad, some blue jeans or blue sweatshirt, I think it was. And she was just right off the bat just admiring, you know, her well, you know, just being Sweeney, you know, because I mean, she's been, well, how long she's been? I want to say since 2016, I think. I know she was in Madam Web, and I think that's almost 10 years old. That movie's almost 10 years old, so she's been out for a while, and she just blew up out of nowhere, just, you know, because of, well, you know why she blew up. You know, I ain't gonna say it on this. But anyways, she So she, made it. If you haven't watched it, you just go on YouTube, type American Eagle, Sydney Sweeney, and it should pop up right away. Because me and my wife was describing the ads, and she was telling me it was something, and I was telling her it was something different. Because the one I see, it was just her putting up her the clothes on, the zipper, whatever, and then and then it cuts it to a different one where she's with a 1960 Mustang, and she's closing the hood and gets in the car and drives off. That's what I saw. I really didn't see no big deal, but she was telling me she saw where she was there was like a guy painting the wall, and it had Sydney Sweeney's picture, and on the bottom it says Sydney Sweeney has good genes, and genes referring to it as GENES. So it's referring that she has a very hot body. And, I'm not gonna deny she actually looks good and all that, but I really don't see how it's a negative effect. Like if you're just mad because Sydney Sweeney is in shape and looks good, then do something about it. Don't be mad. Don't be on the internet trolling. Just do something about it. Go to the gym. I actually started my diet this week too. Not because of trying to Sydney Sweeney, but I do miss my American Eagle clothes, and I do want to go back into wearing those type of clothes because it was a lot of money too that I spent, and I can't wear them more. I only wear them a couple times. I gotta get back into it. So. If you feel uncomfortable with your body and it's hurting you that bad, because you just get up and do something about it. Just don't sit there. Because if you don't do no change, then it's really it's all on you. So, and I do realize that I think it's about this because I saw a post of American Eagle in 2019. They were sponsoring a lot of big people. Big people, bigger than what they usually do. So I'm assuming that's what it has to be. The issue is with the weight and stuff. So if that's your biggest issue, biggest pop or whatever, just do something about it, man. Just go to the gym. There's plenty of gyms out there. I know there's a lot more food chains out there too, but yeah. And it's like on my last video, I was talking to you just gotta control how you eat it and all that. Just gotta watch how you eat and all that, and then you just stay on top of your methods of eating. Like I said that my grandpa drank a lot of water and stuff. I was actually trying that too. Drank so much water where I was so full. And the only thing it made me do is I get up a lot at middle of the night, have to use the restroom. So obviously that didn't work out for me. But the one thing that I kind of started doing is shakes. Some people do it different. Some people do all fruit. Some people do all vegetables. Others mix it in between and stuff. It's really what you like to do. I do celery, green apple, and half a lime. That's what I like to do. And then a splash of apple cider vinegar, because that apple cider vinegar, that's it has a strong taste. I'll put it that way. It's not very good, but it is. I ain't gonna lie, it is very good for you, because since I started drinking apple cider vinegar, it kind of I've been feeling my colon just being flushed out more than. And then that's another good thing. So you're cleaning out your system the most natural way. You're not taking these pills like last year. I was taking pills that were to clean your system and detox yourself and stuff. And when I went to a doctor and told her about it, she said those pills, they're okay for you, but if you do too many times, it starts deteriorating your colon and your inside, and so that's what kind of affects that's what they don't describe in the box and stuff. Now, is she being honest with me? I don't know, because like I said, doctors right now, I feel like they're being a little extra on the money. And I did get a bill because my daughter got sick a couple of weeks ago, and she couldn't eat nothing. She wouldn't drink even water. She was just, and then my daughter's already very skinny. She anything less, she's pretty much bones. And we try to feed her, we try to give her everything, and she won't eat, or she'll eat whenever she wants to eat. So, and when I Google that, it's like, how do we get kids to eat? I can't just shove the spoon in her mouth or anything. So we Google what to do, and the best thing is you just let them, when they're hungry, just put food right there, and have it ready or cut up and everything. And if they want to eat it. But it's mainly when they want to. You know, it's once they get older, they'll start realizing, you know, I got to eat more because they're getting bigger and bigger, and they have to consume more. So that's what I'm thinking right now is just because she's so little, she doesn't really much consume much, which is weird how she's so little, doesn't consume much, but she has so much freaking energy. Like, it's insane. We could go outside, run for a whole hour. She'll take a shower, and she says she'll go back outside and run another whole hour. I'm like, holy snap, hold on, I'm still catching my breath from this. You know, like, how you, but I guess it's just how, you know, how they are. And this is without sugar. This is just her naturally, like, or unless her grandma gives her sugar, but I doubt it, because I know my wife says she's wants to cut sugar, wants to cut juice. We definitely cut milk from her already. So it's insane how we having all this amount of energy and stuff. So, but anyways, back to the bill. So yeah, so my daughter, she got sick. And so we couldn't tell. We gave her some medicine. Nothing was helping her out, and so we were like, okay, it has to be something that we need antibiotics for. So, and this was late at night. This was like 10, 11 at night. We were getting ready to go to sleep for work the next day, but when this happened, we're like, man, her fever will go down. It will go down and up. Her fever was just going crazy, and then, excuse me, when I would hear what set it off is I heard her tell me like she was literally hungry, but she just wouldn't want to eat. So I was like, okay, you know, some definitely is either some bacteria in the stomach or something, but something's not right. So we took her to the ER, and like I said in my last video, I had updated all my insurance, so I knew we weren't going to get charged with anything. You know, well, I thought we shouldn't get charged with anything. We should have been covered and everything. So, so we took her to ER. They St. Luke's in Huntsville, and apparently it's supposed to be the cheapest ER out of the town, so that's where we went. And you know, they checked her in. They took her to the room. They checked her, everything. They checked her ears, her eyes, her mouth, everything. So it confirmed that it was an ear infection, not that very strong, but it was there. That was affecting her way of swallowing and stuff. So that's why she wasn't eating or drinking anything. So they just gave us like a little antibiotic medicine, like a strong Tylenol, like for her to drink, not no pills, because she's too young for that too right now. So they gave us like a liquid type medicine that's antibiotic. They told us just give her like a teaspoon with water, and within like a couple of days she'll be better. So we're like, okay, you know. We did that. 2 days later, yeah, she was back to her normal self. She was eating like normally. So we're like, okay, so it's good. And I told my wife, I was like, let's make sure that it's actually good. You know, we'll find out in a couple of weeks if we get a bill or not, how good my insurance is. So literally, 2 days ago, we walked over to the mailbox, checked the mail, and I got a letter from St. Louis. And I was like, okay, we're going to find out. Here's where we're going to find out. We opened it up. I have a bill of $500 for just that one night. And it wasn't even a one night, just for a couple, an hour or two check-in. A bill of $500. And we're like, what the heck? And we looked, St. Louis charged my insurance to $2,500 just because they considered it a level 3. And me and my wife were like, are they freaking kidding us? Like, it was like, how, I don't know what they consider, you know, we're not a doctor and stuff. I don't know what they consider it, but we were just like, wow, level 3 for an ear infection. Like, that was just, I guess it was just amazing. But that's what I'm saying. Like, these corporations, it's just, man, you just got to realize we're living in a corporate country. We're not living in a country that's cares for us. All they care is the money. That's what they want more, and that's what we just gotta figure out a way to beat the system. You know, you just gotta kind of jump around, do some stuff that you feel like that it's better for you to consume as far as ways living than to just work paycheck to paycheck, man. Because that paycheck, trust me, that paycheck to paycheck it's not a pretty sight, especially if you're not making over $20 an hour. If you're making 20 and under, that paycheck to paycheck is gonna hurt, because the way it is right now, it is crazy expensive. Everything, excuse me, sorry. Everything right now, if you go out to eat, you're looking at least it depends, but you're looking at your cheapest to be 40, and that's not even including tip. With tip, depending, in some servers they want $10 or more now, so some tips with the tip and all, you're looking at least 50, 55, and that's the cheapest restaurant out there. And unless you go to a burger spot and stuff, but now nobody wants to eat burger and stuff because everybody claims that it has rats or it's not very sanitized or anything like that. But you gotta remember, man, when you have a kitchen and you have grease and everything flying around, splashing everywhere, that smell attracts all these little rodents, roaches, rats, mice, whatever. It attracts all that smell, because they're just looking for a way to eat. They're not coming here because it's cool here. They drop some food stuff and we're gonna eat here. No, they're just looking for ways to eat. That's like every nature. It's like a coyote when it finds a cat or something. Even though a cat is considered a house cat and stuff, but if you leave your cat outside, that coyote sees it. That coyote is like, that's my next meal right there, because that's what he sees. He's not worried about having light. He's not worried about making sure he has hot water or anything. What he wants is your cat, because that's where he's gonna get his protein. And so that's what we got to watch out for, man. You got to make sure we got to watch out for these coyotes and wolves out there. What I mean by that, I mean by the bankers, by the doctors, there's so many out there. And then people right now, they want to they want to like get into streaming and stuff, because obviously now streaming is the way to, it's like the new college, though. That's the way to make it in life. And so you got to watch out with investors, even, because some investors, they take your money and they just bounce with it, and then you're stuck. You saved up all this money to make a game plan to get out there and then become somebody, and then boom, it gets taken away from you that quick by a scammer. So you just got to watch out for all this stuff out there, man. You just got to be careful and stuff. So but yeah, that's pretty much all I was going to talk about, man. I apologize to you guys. I let y'all down. I know I was supposed to have somebody. I do have another person that told me they're in talks. We're gonna try to get them. Mike already told me a plans to see if they're gonna confirm if they're gonna come up here or not. So we're gonna try to get more people up here. Like I said, I started off interviewing people. I took a little break because I wanted to get better within myself. By what I mean by that is by speaking. I've been coming out here. Thanks Mike that he's telling me I'm getting a little better, but feedback is always good. But I always feel like I still need to get better with my speaking, my speech. I don't want to come here and say within the 30 minutes, say like 80 times within 30 minutes. I got to get better when explaining stuff and stuff. So that's another thing I was trying to work on also, is to get better within myself. And now I feel like it's time for me to start bringing people up here and start getting more out there. One of the things is I hate is that I can put this out there and on TikTok and stuff, but like I said, I don't feel like I was getting better, so I want to wait till I get better to put this on TikTok or Instagram and stuff to attract people to come watch this. But I think it's getting a little better. I think we're gonna get there. So everything with time, everything works out. So we'll see what happens in the near future. But thank you guys if you watched this all the way through, and I'll catch you guys on the next episode.